Hello, hi there, it's me, it's Dave, or the Jaded Rabbit. God bless you. Thank you for finding some time in your busy day to join me for a discussion of sorts regarding Mortal Kombat as a live service game. If you're familiar with some of our previous videos, I've been going over the official promotional marketing activities of NetherRealm as communicated to players through places like GameSpot or IGN, and both of them have described Mortal Kombat 1 to be a live service game, and they're talking about this in a very positive light, which I think is problematic to say the least. As someone who has experienced a number of live service games, I think the best example of one that I have played and became quite personally involved with is Destiny. In fact, Destiny the Jaded Rabbit, this is an inspiration taken from that game because I've spent thousands of hours playing it, much like Mortal Kombat 11. But live service games are existing only to make profit. They don't care about the player or respect the player's time commitments, responsibilities in the real world. Because when you play a live service game, it is all encompassing. It requires basically the devotion of all of your free time in order to actually get the rewards that matter to you, whether it be augments like elder rarity Jinsei essences in Mortal Kombat 11 or a god roll gun in Destiny. It takes an inordinate amount of time to actually play the game and get these things, and it seems like we are going to see the return of this with Mortal Kombat 1 Invasions, which is very troubling. Now, with Mortal Kombat 11, the live service aspect, maybe it's not super obvious or super intrusive, because where you see it predominantly is within Towers of Time, which features rotating towers that aren't decided by the player, but rather by NRS's secret schedule of whatever towers they want you to play. That's what's available. And that's kind of been the situation with MKX and MK Onslaught mobile game. Yes. But here, you've also got within MK11 Combat League, and Combat League isn't as intrusive as other games that are listed as live services because the seasonal activities are completely free. Like, you can play Combat League totally free, except if you're on console, then you need like PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live, something like that, in order to actually get into the multiplayer. But to actually get the rewards, you don't have to put like $1 investment to, let's say, get your demigod rewards. It's available to anyone who plays in that season. But unlike other paid passes or paid seasonal passes from other games like Dead by Daylight, Street Fighter 6, even Destiny, like, you can complete everything within the season. However, for most of the players of Mortal Kombat 11, I'm going to say 99% of players have not acquired absolutely everything from every single season of Combat League because the endeavor is far too grindy. It's impossible. If you have collected everything in Mortal Kombat 11's Combat League, leave me a comment. I will give you my kudos, my like and love on your comment, because that is quite an accomplishment. But rather than being greedy in terms of making people pay for a season pass or level up tokens for a particular tier, like there's nothing like that within MK11. Rather, MK11 asks the player to devote a crazy, obscene amount of time if you hope to achieve Elder God in a season. 5,500 points gets you Elder God in Mortal Kombat 11, and that's going to take way more than just 10 days of playing the game, which is unfair. I think it's unfair. So as we get into Mortal Kombat 1, I think it's important to recognize what has gone on with Mortal Kombat 11, because there's a lot of grindy practices here which are, it's asking for this time investment, but it's also a talking point for David Zaslav, CEO of WB Discovery. In his shareholders' calls, he'll say, oh, but we've got, so many players playing the game actively. Like, that's a nice little metric to put in there. So they can inflate that number by making things really hard to obtain, which is unfortunate. And that's all within the framework of these seasons being free. Now, for Mortal Kombat 1, we have no idea of the monetization system of what's going on. People are telling me the season passes are going to be free. I'll believe it when I see it, because you can make the argument that MK11, even though the seasons are free, but if you want all this stuff now, you are going to have to spend time crystal, aka real world money, in order to get, a certain Elder God or a certain God tier reward. Very frustrating. Very frustrating indeed. So I am going into MK1 eyes wide open. I know it's going to be grindy, but I hope other people are realizing the situation. I did make a post kind of on my YouTube's. Let's see if we can find it in the community tab. Please check out the community tab. We make all sorts of posts. But yeah, we have I made a question here. Will MK1 invasions be grindy? No mention of the seasonal content, but I think just by the fact that it is seasonal content, it is going to be grindy, and I'm glad that the majority of you realize that this is going to be a grindy affair in Mortal Kombat 1. The trend with NRS over time has been these games have been getting more and more grindy. MK11 is more grindy than MKX. Injustice 2 is more grindy than Injustice. There's a lot of grindiness coming out from NRS, and what made me really frightened was MK Onslaught. If you've seen that game, know what it's about. It's basically pay to win with an obscene amount of random stats on armor pieces that you would want to optimize in order to properly play the game, which sucks. Totally sucks. But yeah, really quite a curious time. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. God bless you. Thank you for joining. Brian, hello Brian. Love you, brother. Talos, Sean, Justin. My PSN email or password is not working. Oh no. I'm not sure how to fix that for you. I'm not customer support. Yeah, contact PlayStation. Hopefully they can fix that. Feather, hello. I was going to oh, thank you for joining. Jade, MK1 is in 10 days. I know. I'm so excited. Do you see any no, I don't really look at the leaks, Chief. Unfortunately, I'm only I don't believe that stuff. I mean, it may be completely accurate, but I'm only focused really on the official promotional activities of NRS. I don't want to get super spoiled. The only thing I'm going to get super spoiled on is if they have a cutscene movie. Would really like to see the whole entire story of MK1 before I actually play the game. Would be nice. Then I can skip the cutscenes. Talos, worst thing about MK11 was Race Against Time. Race Against Time is pretty bad, but whereas like you can achieve top 5%, most people are not achieving Elder God. That's way too hard. John, yes, I have Chief. There are tons out now. Oh, very cool. Jason in the Wood, I think Boone confirmed there will be no battle pass. The battle pass is the seasonal rewards that you obtain from invasions. Don't let him saying that fool you. First of all, Ed Boon is a huge troll, and he likes to lie, as we've discussed several times previously. So I mean, like, you're seeing it in front of you. Like, he's saying one thing, and you're clearly seeing seasonal rewards. I think the best example of seasonal reward that we got from this play from Warner Play was that we saw Tanya skin Sigil of Fire. Let's see if we can find it. Oh, here we go. Right? So this is like a seasonal reward tied to the season of the Spectre Scorpion. That should be the first season, apparently so. So this is like the free battle pass. And if you're not playing during that battle pass time, these rewards are time limited, much like MK11 and any Combat League reward. Lots of people are not getting the rewards from Combat League, which breaks my heart, because these seasons, they are super, super limited. Okay, so going back here, I did have that Johnny skin up on the screen. I feel like this Johnny Tower or mansion stage map that we're on, it is something more so for tutorial purposes. It seems like the Johnny Cage mansion, everyone's going to be playing it when they first start up invasions, because this is where you'll actually learn about things like talismans and relics, etc. But yeah, this horror show skin, it's already kind of frightening. I like it, but the horror show skin is essentially like the dress shirt outfit of Johnny plus a jacket with some hand wraps. Like, it's not really that different. I'm worried. We're going to be getting into rewards. So I have spent a lot of time working on figuring out the different schedules for Mortal Kombat, and I have been working on a new project of making the Combat League schedule. But I think there's a lot of things that people may have forgotten or don't realize about Combat League, because always whenever I say there's a 3-year schedule for Combat League, people are like, what? Surprise? So yes, I've been working on making this schedule to be a little bit more clear, and I think within the context of MK11 and what we've seen for MK1, a lot of the same game design philosophies are going to be repeated from MK11. Like, you're getting the same story structure of cutscene plus fight. You're also getting classic towers. You're getting very grindy systems in the form of talismans and relics and components. Really sad about the fact that you have to recharge your talisman all the time. That kind of blows. But yeah, we did hear from Ed Boon saying that the seasons within Invasions are going to be 6 to 8 weeks long from the gameplay RJ interview he did with the Brazilian Games article place. Here, seasons in MK11 last for 28 days. We also have 32 individual unique seasons of rewards from Mortal Kombat 11. So if we extrapolate this idea to MK1, there being 32 seasons of content, hopefully it's not 32, because if it is 8 weeks to go from one season to the next. Essentially, we're looking at a doubling of the 160-week schedule that we already have in MK11. That's assuming that there's going to be 32 seasons of content in MK1. One would hope, right? We got 32 seasons in MK11, although I could see them making that number smaller, because if it is 32 seasons with 8 weeks going in between season 1 and season 2, that means 6 years. What? 6 years? So one of the things about Combat League is that there's always some fancy brutality, some special seasonal challenge, as is the case for the very first season of MK11. There was the classic victory pose, Honor Bound, which is the only victory that you can get from Combat League. But because of the fact that there are 32 seasons, aka 160 weeks or 3 years in the schedule, if you miss out on Honor Bound last season, you're going to have to wait 3 years for this thing to show up. Currently, we're looking at Honor Bound to return in August 2025. So that's 2 full years away. So the schedules mean that it's incredibly hard for any players. If you miss out on that first season, you're not getting the reward, which is unfortunate, very hard to explain to people as well. Like, I really empathize with any new players who join with Combat Pack 2 or the Ultimate Edition, because you're going to have to do serious waiting to get Scorpion Victory. Same goes for the brutalities. Like, you're waiting 3 years to get these things, which are actually gameplay changing. You can make builds around brutalities in MK11. They also greatly affect the way the game plays, because you're searching out that final finishing move to get the brutality. It affects gameplay. So it's unfortunate that these things are just so time gated. Can you imagine what it's going to look like for MK1 if these seasons are longer? If they're longer, it's going to take really, really long in order for the cycle to repeat upon itself, which is tough. This is tough. Like, if you want to collect everything in Mortal Kombat, you're going to have to start playing from the first day of Invasions being a season. That being said, I'm not sure that seasons are going to be released upon day one. Maybe it will, but with Mortal Kombat 11, we had to wait 3 months before we got our first season of Combat League and Combat League rewards. So having these things time gated just is an unreasonable expectation on players, right? Like, you have to be playing a live service game all the time in order to get the rewards. And I think that's just a cruel and unusual form of punishment, because it means you can't play other games. Even with Race Against Time, take for instance Kung Lao White is the New Black. I chose not to play during a certain week, which also turned out to be the week that they would never bring back this Kung Lao skin again. So if you weren't playing during a very specific week in 2019, you're missing out on that skin forever. So this is utter hell for completionists like myself who wish to acquire everything in a game that they love, because it's going to ask you to spend the next 4 years of your life. Equate that to, like, going to college and getting a 4-year degree. Instead of getting a 4-year degree, I am getting schooled on playing the game as a lifestyle, which is terrible. It's really terrible. So I'm not looking forward to games as a live service, even though I'm so addicted and I'm probably going to be playing every single season to completion. It's just an unreasonable ask for the player. And it also really highlights a poor design option from NRS in the fact that there's only one way to acquire these rewards. There is no player agency. You don't have a choice in what kind of activity you would like to do to earn rewards, because you are limited in MK11 to only playing ranked PvP to get the majority of these fancy rewards. Question mark on fancy, because some of these things are not fancy, but there is no choice. You have to play Combat League, go to God, if you want to get Gamagen. If you want to get some of these rewards, it's very unfortunate. What's a good option? We're just looking for a good, like, top tier option. Valkyrie, you would have to go to God tier. Like, there's a lot of, like, unreasonable asks with MK11 and its Combat League system, and I don't expect it to be different with Invasions. Considering how grindy it is in MK11, they're going to make these boards so RNG filled. If it's not RNG filled, I imagine we'll have to repeat the same activity over and over in order to really get all of the rewards. This is what I'm imagining. All right, so let's see what you guys are saying. Thank you so much for joining along. Talos, it's not grindy, more like characters are selectively nerfed. Oh no. Shiva. Oh yes, Shiva was nerfed. There are far worse cheap characters like Cetrion, Geras, the list goes on. The handicap system with KL points didn't either. It's grindy. It's so grindy. I really liked Race Against Time. Race Against Time is, I guess, yeah, it's good. You know, it's fun to try and get some high points, be in the top 100 for a particular week, but it's all very ephemeral. Like, this is not recorded anywhere. No one's going to know of your accomplishments, so the question is, why bother in the first place? But it's fun. Yeah, you can definitely notice that there's like a little group of people who are competing to get within that top 0.001% of Race Against Time. John, to quote Dave, I don't trust anything Ed Boon says. Yeah, I will agree. I don't. I mean, like, he's been trolling people for what, decades? It's a little much, so it's hard to believe anything he says at face value. Also, the boy who cried wolf, I think, is a good metaphor applied to Ed Boon. I pre-ordered MK1 Premium, so I will get DLC for free because I pre-ordered. Very good, Berserker. The best channel. Hi, I'm new. Hello. If you want grindy, try Modern Warfare 2's current event. I think you can immediately call MK11 grindy because 99% of people don't have all the Elder God rewards. It's an unreasonable thing to ask players in order to get some of these Elder God rewards, Talos. I'm certain Modern Warfare 2 is also grindy, though. Haven't played it. Jade and Scarlet should be in Combat Pack 2, for real. I agree, Jade. We should have these lady ninjas. I'd be surprised if Jade isn't in MK1 since story is Adinia themed. It seems like they took Jade's role and replaced it with Tanya Talos, so yeah. We can only hope, says John, yes. Talos, I miss the good old days when you just had to play the game to unlock stuff, instead of it being locked behind online DLC events. I agree. Six Legs, hey babes, hello. John, thank you for joining. Please don't forget to leave a like, my friends. It really helps out with the channel. 27 of you. Leave 27 likes. Joshua, this isn't worth it anymore. I'm going to put this energy into making money or a college education. Exactly. Any games as a live service is asking you not to play the game for fun. It's asking you to play the game as a lifestyle. saying this as somebody who's spent 10,000 hours in Mortal Kombat 11. It is a lifestyle. If you want to collect all of the things, it is going to take forever. Weebs Neku, MK9 did it right. Complete edition just had everything unlocked. Yeah, like even MKX, you could pay to get all the crypt unlocks. I would prefer a system like that where you could just pay a small reasonable amount and then you could have everything rather than asking players to spend thousands of hours to collect everything. I already just assume I'm not going to get everything. They raised the price on PS Plus. So basically I'm single player, no Combat League. Yeah, I think that's also just not fair to players. Like you're going into the game with that mindset, that's so sad. I mean, we should be able to 100% a game, although with the games as a live service, it will never be a thing. Vibe with me. Hello. Thank you for being here. I'm doing good. Ed became a troll since MK9, and I'm getting the standard edition. Very nice, Feather. Dave, last week I played a man who was ranked Elder God, and I lost. Oh no. Poor Brian. Yeah, sounds intense. Okay, so OMG. So yes, getting back to this project that I've been working on, just going through all of the rewards from all of the seasons of Combat League, because I would like to make a schedule that I can add to the existing schedule where people can just get all of the Combat League information, because this is a thing. But one thing that's really worrying me here in this whole entire seasonal content is that even though they say it's free in Mortal Kombat 11, like you don't have to pay any upfront cost to participate in Combat League, there is the option of buying certain items in the game from Combat League within the premium shop. An example here is the Season 2 reward for Liu Kang. He got pretty bracers. They are very pretty. But you can also purchase them from the premium shop. So here we're seeing a good and a bad thing. The good thing is that there are multiple ways now, besides just playing Combat League. You can go to the premium shop, pick yourself up a Combat League bundle, and it'll contain sometimes really good rewards, like Elder God loot. This is one way that players don't have to spend hundreds of hours in one given season in order to obtain the top tier loot. However, the bad side is that it is asking players to open their wallet in order to purchase the thing outright. And I think the overall pricing of bundles within Mortal Kombat 11 is somewhat exorbitant. For instance, if you were playing during 2020, yes, we're going to say 2020. Anytime after Aftermath and January, like the first week, they offered Eternal Clash bundles for every single skin. Classic Frost, MK9 Scorpion, Deception Sub-Zero. You could purchase all of these things. However, to purchase it from the bundle, like as bundles from the premium shop, would have costed in excess of $90. So there is some ridiculous pricing going on for every single gear piece and skin in the game, because you're going to have to spend a lot of money. For instance, when Scarlet was a thing within the premium shop, February 2020, the only one time she was offered, it was more than $30 to get all of the classic or Cold War Scarlet outfits. Not classic, Cold War. So to get the 6 outfits, the 3 gear pieces, more than $30. More than $90 to do the same for the Eternal Clash skin pack. The prices are crazy. And I mean, like, we're in an economy of inflation. You know, buying like a tub of margarine or butter is more than $10. So it's very expensive. Very expensive. I can only see the prices for these things increasing with MK1. I can also see that there is going to be a lot more opportunities for them to cash in. Like with time crystals, we broke the time crystal economy with the infinite time crystal glitch. Please do join the Jaded Bunny fam if you want to find out how to get infinite time crystals and purchase all of this stuff. But we have to look forwards to dragon crystals in MK1, and I could easily see some of the seasonal content for seasons and invasions being something that you buy, because Lord help us, it will be super grindy to get absolutely everything. I mean, on one hand, it's good. Like, you have multiple ways to acquire loot. But the bad thing is that the other way to acquire the loot is to pay for it. It's worrisome, and it doesn't make me like hopeful about MK1. I'm really trying to be cautiously optimistic, but going back to Combat League and looking at this thing with like fresh eyes, because I've not played Combat League for several seasons. It's not really on my mind. So coming back to it, I'm like, why? Why is it designed like this? Why did I make myself suffer for thousands of hours trying to get this stuff? It's insane. It's very insane. So I think like if you are going into MK1, like the things that Ed Boon is selling is, oh, it's a seasonal pass. There's going to be seasonal content. There's going to be new stuff delivered all the time. It's all just to make profit, all just to keep players playing the game for longer so that you're a nice little metric for the shareholders. Conference call. This is what it is. Not to mention, like, games as a live service, one thing that I forgot about here is that this schedule doesn't accurately represent NRS's attention or allocation of resources to this live service content, seasonal content. So you see 32 seasons here, right? We're going from season 33 to season 64. Imagine it said season 1 to season 32, because those are the original seasons. By the time we got to season 10, season 11, that was like the introduction of Aftermath. By the time Aftermath rolled around into the game, all of the rewards that you see in Combat League were added to the game. So they had that content from Combat League seasons already prepared in 2020, and they just drip fed that to us, the players, over the course of the next 2 years. So the last time they actually updated anything into the seasonal content of Mortal Kombat 11 was a year and a couple months into the life cycle of MK11. And then they said, peace out, we're done. Combat League decided. However, for us as the players, since we were in the weeds, since we were in the depths of Combat League, things like this schedule wasn't readily apparent, right? But it's clear, coming back to this schedule, seeing what's happened, is that they really put all of that stuff in the game at Aftermath. If you were playing during Aftermath, you might remember them as the question mark gear pieces. Those are the Combat League gear pieces. They had designed and created and put all that stuff into the game 1 year and a couple months after its release, and then slowly dripped it out to players until 2021, or 2022, rather. Yeah, because the last time we got anything new was June 2022. They had that in the game for 2 years. And guaranteed they're going to be doing this with MK1. This is their design philosophy, because it allows them to then jump ship and move on to the next game that they're designing. This is what live services is. You're not actually getting constant updated content. This is stuff that's been pre-planned, and if it's been pre-planned, the question is, why wasn't it in the game since day one? Why make players suffer for 3 years instead of it just being in the game? Like, it's ridiculous. Really ridiculous. But yeah, I think like the thing to realize here is that there's going to be seasonal contents in MK1. It's probably going to be following the same standard here. But much like MK11, there's some good stuff from Combat League. But as you can see here, a lot of this stuff in Combat League are just lame reskins. So, like, I'm working on this schedule, and it's important to me to identify where NRS has just copy-pasted the same design, changed a texture, applied a pattern, because this is just denoting the kind of lazy kind of game design that goes in to inflating the game with a lot of loot. This is what's been happening in MK11, and it's probably going to happen in MK1. It wouldn't surprise me if a lot of the seasonal rewards that you're getting from these different season of invasions is not different from the design philosophy of MK11, where the majority of rewards are just copy pastes, right? So you hear like, this is all of the tiered rewards. The only tiered reward in Season 1 that was unique was the Hanba mask for Noob Saibot. A really beautiful mask. But one reward out of 9 plus 6, 15. One reward out of 15 is not enough. One unique reward in a sea of reskins that are just meant to inflate the bloat in the game. There's 4,000 plus gear pieces in the game. I think I have 3,905. Or maybe it's less than 4,000. It's somewhere around 4,000 in MK11. But a lot of those gear pieces are just copy-paste reskins. And I mean, like, just seeing it at a glance, right? That was Season 1. Season 2, you're getting a lot more unique stuff, which is good. But they also put it in the shop so that you can spend money on it. But there's also a lot of, like, reskins. Same goes on not only for the gears, but also the skins. So the skins in basically Seasons 1 through 13, they're just palette swaps of existing base game skins. Like, here you're getting a black and red version of, I think, costume number 2. For Scorpion. So, like, what's the point? What's the diff? Like, these are just lame palette swaps. And this was my complaint originally with Combat League back in 2019. A lot of these skins are not exciting because they are just palette swaps of things that we've got in the game already. I am interested to see, like, what is this? Like, we see Tanya. Let's see if we can get it back. Consumables. Not consumables. There's so many things. Oh, it looks so grindy. It looks so mobile gamey. Why is it so grindy? I'm so worried. Okay, well, I'm trying to get the Tanya skin. Can't wait to play the game. Let's be honest, though. Really am looking forward to playing the game. But yeah, Tanya skin. Like, I'm interested to know if this is a reskin on something, or is this a completely new outfit. I'm hoping that it's completely new, because, like, here you're getting, like, fancy headpiece, weird makeup on the face. It looks curious. So, like, I'm hopeful that we're not going to get entirely reskins, but, like, then you come to, like, the Katana skin, which I think looks terrible. Yes, it doesn't really look that good. Is this a reskin of something that she gets in the game? I want to know. Can't wait to know. I guess a lot of our questions / worries will be answered in MK1. But I feel like based on MK11, like, how hopeful can you be? How hopeful can you be when you take a look at these things? It's just a simple palette swap. Rather than Revenant skin, you've got human skin for a season. Whoa. Like, really, going back to that horror show skin that we saw for Johnny, it's just him with a jacket and some chains. So, like, is that really enough? Where is it? Oh, here we go. Yes. It's just a jacket with some chains on the hand wraps. Right? Is this enough for it to be considered seasonal content? I think that you can make the argument for Combat League. A lot of it is not worthwhile. A lot of these skins are not worthwhile. Very unfortunate. Let's see what you guys are saying. Thank you so much for joining. God bless you. Okay, wow. Comments. Lots of comments. MK1 Invasion is kinda the same as MK Mobile's Crypt. Interesting comparison, Jade. I really value that because I've not played a lot of MK Mobile. It's just not on my radar. I don't want to play it. I'm afraid of it. So, yeah, kind of worried. It does feel very mobile-y, though, to me. Mega Rob, I feel like to fix the reward system, they should allow people to do whatever ridiculous time-exclusive event, and months down the line, give it to players for free. Yeah, totally. Imagine if crypt events just added the rewards to the loot, the general loot pool of the crypt. Like, give people the seasonal rewards for a limited time, but then make it available to players in some manner that doesn't require you to pay money in the premium shop in the form of time crystals. Like, imagine if you could get Elder God loot by making 100,000 coin donations or 10,000 heart donations to the Naknad Shrine. That would be so cool. It would also require like a superb amount of grinding too, because you would need to collect all of the currency in order to donate. But it's free, right? I think that would be way better. Yeah, totally agree, Mega Rob. Weebs Neku, MKX had the Crypt DLC, but there's still the online rewards like Revenant Kung Lao and the Emperor Empress Lu and Katana. Okay, very cool. I had two options: buy the game, pre-order, or wait years until completing the game. Exactly. I feel like that, I mean, if you are a completionist, this is one reason why you're going to have to pre-order everything from NRS. Because if you want to collect things like Eternal Clash skins, Time Warriors skins, Baby Pink Melina, then you're gonna have to make those pre-orders and play from day one to make sure that you're not missing out on any reward. There was a very long period of time where Jade's Temporal Assassin skin was not accessible in the game because it wasn't in the premium shop, and the particular tower that dropped it only appeared in May 2019. But then they brought it around in a premium shop bundle, which is very nice. You know, I'm glad that they did that. But it took them years to make that action. It would be better if they made that action within months. Because, like, guaranteed, a lot of the people who are playing day one Mortal Kombat 1 are not going to be playing the game in a year from now. It's just natural for any game. There's a huge fall off within, you know, a couple of months of the game. So, yeah. Crazy. Phil Lansing, are you talking about MK11? Yes, we are talking about MK11 and MK1. Why no? What, Phil? Interesting. Why? I'm still waiting on Eternal Clash skins to come back for my console account. I hear you, Weebs Niku. Yeah, truly, if you want the most complete experience of MK11, and most likely MK1, you're gonna have to play on PC. PC, you're able to just get everything with the use of cheating duels and scripts. So yes, perhaps. J4, I hope there is a dragon crystal glitch. I agree. We know they're already thinking about MK2, so how much seasonal content they plan to do is dedicating actual time into. Yeah, I think like the games as a live service delivery is a huge facade for them to then take their resources and go work on their next game. I totally agree with you. Vibe with me. Drip feeding is lame. I'm not a baby bird. I agree. It's insulting to know that, like, in Aftermath, we got the question mark gear pieces. They were all in the game at May 2020, but you have to play the game until June 2022 in order to collect them? That's insane. Absolutely insane. Really unfortunate. Phil Lansing, don't like it. I agree. Look at it from the developer perspective. You want players to keep playing your game. If you had everything day one, you'd be like, hey, got it all. No. I think like what they should have done instead of relying on time gating activities is to actually make quests. This would have been a huge opportunity to add quests into MK. I think having quests to acquire things like skins, like gears, it would make it more meaningful. Plus, it would add way more value to the live service content because it would require them to do continuous update of services as opposed to just relying on grindy RNG tactics with every season of Combat League. And it's going to be super grindy with MK1 invasions. Phil, OMG. Vibe with me. The Jaded Cutie Patootie. OMG, thank you. Jason, still bad decision. Give us something like Deception's Conquest or MK11 Crypt to get it. Yeah. Although MK11 Crypt it being so based on RNG, I'm still not entirely certain with it. Although I did beat the RNG for the Crypt within like 4 months of playing it. So it's a better grind than most other grinds in the game. Like Augments takes years. Combat League takes years. Yeah, there's a lot of yearly grinding required for other things in the game. All right, Boots, yes, thank you for being here. Please respect my mods. Please respect me. Respect everyone in the chat. Be respectful or get banned. Feather, there has to be a trailer this week when the game drops in less than 2 weeks. I hope so. That would be so cool. Jade, that's the exact reason why I pre-ordered MK1 was not to miss out on any good skins or gears, even exclusive stuff for the game for a limited time. Oh yeah, keep in mind, they are probably going to do something like Twitch Rival Towers, like they did for MK11. MK11, you had to play within a very specific 5-hour period, whereby a tower came on for one stage of Twitch Rivals, and after an hour, it would be replaced by the next tower. So if you weren't playing during those 5 hours, you wouldn't have gotten everything from those Twitch Rivals towers. And if you remember, they are kind of long. So trying to accomplish that within an hour was not fun. Not fun. Do we know if Invasions is RNG? Yeah. Talismans, relics, consumables, components. Those are all RNG. Is it supposed to be like a season pass? Yes, it will be like a season pass because you're going to have seasonal rewards like skins to acquire. Yeah, something like this, the Tanya skin, I could see this being related to a season of Scorpion. I think this is from the first season that we're seeing. Wouldn't node 1 be the same? We're going to have to see if the nodes are going to be the same. But if the nodes are fixed and completely the same, what's the point of replaying a board once you play it? That's not what a live service game is. Live service games are grindy. So, and I mean, like, I hope it's not fixed node because it would add very little replayability to invasions. So yeah, I worry about that. Okay, so yeah, like I am like really worried about several things with invasions, given that we have such long schedules to look forwards to in MK11. If there are 32 seasons, I'm really hoping that there's not 32 seasons in invasions. 16 would be a more amenable number, especially if they're increasing the actual time that you spend in a season from 4 or 5 weeks here in MK11 to 6 to 8 in MK1. But yeah, like I said, it really does feel like with MK11, there was no live service content. It was stuff that was already in the game that was just parceled out to players over the span of years. And it makes me worry if that's going to be the same strategy with MK1, and it most likely is, given that's what they've done for other game modes that we're seeing in MK1 being completely the same. Like the story mode. This would have been the opportunity for them making it a PS5 exclusive to really push the limits of the PS5 beyond just showing a nice MPEG cutscene. That would be yeah, enjoyable. But yeah, like even if it's free seasons like Combat League, there is going to be a paid element. There will for sure be a paid element. The paid element is going to be your only way to avoid grind and invasions, much like it is with MK11 and Combat League. If you don't want to go to Elder God, be prepared to cough up the time crystals, aka the money. And guaranteed, seasonal content is never as good as shop exclusive content. Like you see it in Street Fighter 6, you see it in Destiny. Like the things that you can get from the season pass are not as beautiful as what you can buy from the paid Eververse shop in Destiny. Same goes for Street Fighter 6. The seasonal content that you get from the fighting pass, which happens every 3 weeks, very terrible. It looks better from the actual paid store. Like you can get like beautiful sarongs, swimsuits, Ninja Turtle outfits. You're not getting that included with the battle pass. So guaranteed, whatever seasonal content we're getting from Invasions, there's going to be even more beautiful paid outfits. Much like with MK11. Initially, Classic Rain wasn't in the Race Against Time schedule. That got added in later. If you wanted Race Against Classic Rain within those first couple of months of Combat Pack 2 being released, you would have had to cough up the time crystal. Same goes for Baby Pink Melina. You had to spend the time crystal to get that stuff. RoboCop announcer voice. This is all very exclusive stuff that you have to pay for. Yeah. Yeah. Really, really worrisome to think about what's coming down the pipe with MK1. Really scary. But I'm hoping that there are multiple avenues of getting rewards. Like here you see you don't only have to play PvP to get these skins, you can get them from Meteor Towers. That was a really wonderful benefit with Combat Pack 2. I believe, was when Meteor Towers were introduced, or maybe a month or two after the release of Combat Pack 2, were the Meteor Towers. You could get all of these fancy skins without having to go to Demigod every season in order to collect them. You just needed a little bit of RNG and some currency, and you would get the skin eventually. I wonder if there's going to be, like, a reason to play PvP in Mortal Kombat 1 if rewards are tied to single-player invasions. Combat League systems, even though I'm complaining about it, it was one of the best systems in the game, because it certainly made me want to get better at the game to try and collect all of the things that I could. But without that kind of reward motivation in Mortal Kombat 1, is there a reason to play ranked PvP? I'm really hoping that some of the rewards that you can get from invasions, maybe you can get them in ranked PvP, maybe even easier. That would be nice. I'm looking forward to better player agency. I think that's important. You shouldn't be restricted to just one way of obtaining a reward. You should have multiple pathways available to you as a player. If you're trying to get something like Elder God rewards, let it be in the premium shop. Let it be in the crypt general loot RNG from the shrine donation system. There would be a lot of ways that players could get stuff and feel satisfied about playing the game and not have to spend 3 years to play. I think advocating for people to be playing Mortal Kombat as a live service game when it in fact is not a live service game with constant updates like, let's say, Final Fantasy 14 or World of Warcraft. Those are MMOs with expansions and new content coming on a regular basis because there is a dedicated live service team. The live service team at NRS is woefully underprepared. So one of my favorite employees, I've mentioned him a number of times, one of my favorite employees at NRS who was on the live service team was Solomon Gaitan. He was responsible for Chitin Hive skins, Classic Frost skins, DLC MK3 skins, Season 16 skins. Like, he was responsible for a lot of the sexiness. MK2 skins. Like, he made all of the sexy skins in Mortal Kombat 11. And he left. So I could imagine, like, him working in the live service team at NRS as, principal artist. It was hard. I mean, it definitely sounds hard that he created such wonderful things under pressure, beautiful things that I will never forget, but now he's left the company? So I could only imagine the hell that he went through trying to design things as, part of the live service aspect of the game. But it's such a small team. Base game skins had numbers of people, multiple people, plus outsourced to third-party artists who would work on modeling, concept, shading, all of the different aspects that goes into the design of a certain skin. For the base game, here for DLC, it's all done in-house and it's done on a quick turnaround schedule. Seems pretty hectic. I'm not confident. I don't think that's fair to employees. I don't think it's fair to players either. It's just unfair all around. But like MK11 is hella grindy, right? We established that a lot of people think MK1 invasions will be grindy. And one of the way that they do this in a game is to have bloated, inflated amounts of gear pieces. Guaranteed all of you there watching this now don't have all of the 4,000 gear pieces in the game. A lot of them are meaningless. Why collect it if it's meaningless? But I'm a completionist. I want all of it. But it's all very hard to get this stuff. It's probably going to be in MK1. And we're seeing it with MK1, right? Like, this is what's very disheartening. Ed Boon describes this as a very, rewarding experience, that you're getting lots of rewards all of the time. He neglects to say that the rewards that you're collecting all the time are consumables, components. It seems like you're also getting ugly shader. If there's a shader system in the game, I think that might be better than having bloated numbers of skins, because then you just have to collect shaders, which might be better than collecting skins. Actually, no, it's the same idea. You have to collect individual skins in MK11 to get that particular shader for the costume. I guess this will be applied to all costumes? The shader system is interesting. Might be better than what we're getting in terms of the skins, but you can see already it's very grindy. You have to get the consumables. You have to get the components, especially if you want to do things optimally in the game. Like, kill opponents in a couple of hits. You're going to want to get the best talismans, the best relics, and you're going to want to upgrade them with the best components. So the components is going to be really such a huge part of the grind, which is unfortunate. I'm kind of sad that we're not seeing this person focus on the rewards by scrolling through what he's obtaining. But you can see from the little previews, there's a lot of RNG built into this already. You're not all getting the same consumable, all the same component. That just would not make sense. So you can see where the RNG is being introduced into this game. It's worrying. So I'm hoping that there's not so many lazy rewards, that there's not going to be the need to grind for things constantly, but it seems like that's what it's going to be. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. Thank you so much for joining along. Please leave a like. 27 of you leave 27 likes. What do I need to do? It really helps with the YouTube. It gets the news out there. Perhaps you're all on the hype train and you don't want to recognize the grind for what it is, but I think most of you can see that this thing is just going to be hella grindy, much like MK11. A shame I cannot pre-order MK1. I'm sorry, Moses. Jason, do we even know if Invasions is orange? Oh yeah, we do. Jade, just imagine a katana skin for a Sub-Zero snow theme. I mean, I love the idea, but I hope it's not just like an alternate blue palette swap. Like it's something with like icicles and snowflakes and glitter on it. I hope so. Jason, I don't know if the boards are replayable. We'll have to find out when it's released. Feather, Aki looks terrifying and creepy with a snake-like fighting style and makes Jury look tame. I agree, Feather. Aki does look a little bit more scary than Jury. I love Aki. I can't wait for her to be released. Jade, I mean, the least they can do to get like KL or seasonal stuff is like discover a secret fight. Imagine if there was like a secret opponent or a secret fight every season. That would be great. Although I'm not hopeful on them to design something like that. We'll have to see. Get some who's like that instead of spending a lot of time just to get one skin or gear piece. Yes. Totally agree. Having to go to Elder God in Combat League, it's just too much. And it's all for just one gear piece. Or trying to get to Demigod just to get that one skin. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Jason, I'm a big fan of letting players earn the paid currency in some way as an option for extra content. While they do it to some degree, I feel like they could do better. Definitely getting 10 time crystals upon level up is garbage. It's unfair. It's an insult to players. Once you get to level 100 or level 125, the amount of experience that you need to level up becomes fixed. So NRS didn't even care what players do beyond level 125. But the amount of experience that you need to gain to go up from 125 to 126 is something like... So it would take like 2,500 matches, and that's if you have max win streak XP, which itself is like 10,000 or 15,000. So you're going to need like millions of profile XP to go up from 125 to 126, but you get 10 time crystal? Which is the same as if you were going up from level 3 to level 4, which takes just like a few hundred profile experience. So it's insane. Like, I hope that there's a better mechanism for NRS to give people that paid premium currency. 10 time crystal is an insult past level 100. Okay, I'm hoping I don't regret pre-ordering this game. Totally agree, Feather. I don't even have Rambo's Locality, let alone any of the KL stuff. That's unfortunate. I'm still not convinced invasion rewards are, but so you're telling me everyone is going to be getting the same components, the same relics, the same. I mean, let's hope. Let's hope. Maybe. I'm very uncertain about that. I think like what we saw with the Johnny Cage mansion is like a tutorial introduction. So some things are fixed there, but when you come to the second board here of the Feng Tian village and you see like consumables, I mean that's the perfect opportunity for RNG, as well as the component system of upgrading talismans. Not everyone's going to have the same. What's the point of having it be all the same if you're going to have different? Yeah, it doesn't compute. Does not compute in my head. Feather, when the story mode drops, I'm going to watch the story mode even if it's leaked. I will probably do the same. Feather, I have a theory that Shang is perfecting the Tarkat disease on Melina, which is why she looks different from other Tarkatans. That could be it. She could just have a very advanced stage of Tarkat disease brought on by Shang Tsung being icky. Perhaps, maybe. But yes, OMG, thank you, my friends, for joining along. God bless you. I hope you found this informative, and I just had to make this because as I'm going through the process of making and updating the premium shop schedule with the Combat League schedule, there are just some things that you can't deny when you see it in black and white. Like, even at a glance, these rewards are garbage. They are just the same. They are reskins. And I mean, it doesn't make me hopeful for what we have to expect with MK1. Yeah, the seasonal content has never been a good idea. And it just doesn't feel like the appropriate thing to do in MK1, but hey, that's what NRS wants to do. I'm not sure if it's a WB directive or an NRS directive, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was an NRS directive. Like, having all of these gear pieces, all of the augments, it's just very grindy. Very, very grindy. But yes, please do leave a like, a comment, a subscribe. Would love to hear from you what you're expecting from seasonal content within MK1. I'm not expecting much. But I am excited to play it. I'm very excited to play it. Also, please do consider joining the Jaded Bunny fam. If you really enjoy what we do here on YouTube, please consider supporting. We get demonetized by YouTube. So having the support of my brothers and sisters really, really helps out. I would not be here on YouTube were it not for you guys. So much love to Matthew Wellman and Anthony G, our newest bunnies in the fam. They joined within this last week. Means the world to have you here, brothers. Also, much love to everyone else. Kari Lessie, Angel, James Shea, Kevin Dong, Kalila Crenshaw, John Feltner, Charlie Ravens, John Lee, John Clark, Danny Slaw, Energizer, J4, Among Us Gamer, GCXBU Gaming, Styles, Cara D, Kokomo Joe, A.G. Miller, Coffee Gamer, Lucy Little Thunder, Boots Alexander, Jonah, Eric, Blood Ferox, Glowy, Chaka Corn, Airy, Michael K, Darkside, Trokar, Mark, Danny, O Gamer, Michael G, Swishbish, Ilkid, Snoopy Blind FGC, Albus Christus Mortis, Yuri, Erdem, Calum, JJ, Dr. Eggman, Alina, Acenonics 85, Alan, Cider M, Ragnar, Rian Chaos, and Queen Melina. OMG. Thank you, my brothers and sisters. And most importantly, thank
thank you to all of you who are watching right now. You've made it to the end of another live stream. God bless you. It means a lot that we could spend this time together. But yes, I am praying for all of you to just be having the most fun playing whatever game it is that you're playing. But until next time, please stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy. Bye, my friends. Take care. Peace. Love you guys.